An enthusiastic and poignant monologue can become the most memorable moment in a film, even if it's being delivered by the bad guy.
Well, in my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie villain monologues.
We know everything.
Then what's there to discuss, Dan?
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the best monologues given by characters that are considered the antagonist.
Evil, actually.
As such, we're not including anti-heroes on this list.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny.
Number 10. Raoul Silva, Skyfall. Raoul Silva is one of the more memorable villains of the Bond franchise.
At least here there are no old ladies giving orders and no little gadgets.
A former spy for MI6, Silva uses his smarts to seek revenge on M and causes significant destruction on his path to doing so. But this is the scene where both James Bond and the audience first meet Silva. As he slowly walks towards the camera, Silva tells a gruesome anecdote about rats.
They start eating each other until there are only two left.
The monologue, brilliantly delivered by Javier Bardem, serves as a metaphor for Bond and Silva, as Silva blames M for turning the two agents against one another. It would seem that Bond has finally met his match.
But now they don't eat coconut anymore. Now they only eat rat.
Number 9. Colonel Nathan R. Jessup, A Few Good Men. Jack Nicholson is at his very best in this scene.
You can't handle the truth!
Nicholson's Colonel Jessup is on the witness stand during a court-martial trial following the death of Marine Private William Santiago. While you may not agree with Jessup's actions or philosophy, you can't deny the confidence and conviction he has in his beliefs. Jessup passionately defends his role on the so-called wall, and the job he does ensuring the existence of freedom.
I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom.
It's this monologue that makes this film a classic, and one of the best courtroom dramas of all time.
I'm gonna rip the eyes out of your head and piss in your dead skull!
Number 8. Detective Alonzo Harris, Training Day. Denzel Washington won an Academy Award for Best Actor for his role as Detective Alonzo Harris in this film, and this monologue shows why. A selfish man and a corrupt cop, Harris is used to getting what he wants, until young patrol officer Jake Hoyt stands up to him.
You don't deserve this.
Alonzo attempts to get the crowd to kill Jake for him, but they've grown tired of his arrogance and refuse to do it, prompting this epic meltdown.
All right, I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Washington is on another level in this scene, delivering the perfect mix of overbearing arrogance combined with crippling fear.
Shit, you can shoot me, but you can't kill me.
Number 7. John Doe, 7. One of the things that makes 7 a truly terrifying film is the fact that we don't find out the identity or the motives of the killer until near the end.
You're looking for me.
Once we do, however, we wish we hadn't.
Nothing wrong with a man taking pleasure in his work.
In this brilliant but chilling monologue, John Doe, played by Kevin Spacey, reveals why he killed all those people.
This is a man who dedicated his life to making money by lying with every breath that he could muster.
At the core of this speech is our ignorance and our willingness to look the other way when someone does something terribly wrong. While we don't condone his actions by any means, it's a bit disturbing to think that he may actually have a point.
Only in a world this shitty could you even try to say these were innocent people and keep a straight face.
Number 6. Colonel Walter E. Kurtz, Apocalypse Now. Perhaps no speech captures the horrors of war better than this one.
Horror has a face, and you must make a friend of horror.
The scene is filmed brilliantly, as we only see Kurtz's shaved head poking out from the shadows. This puts the emphasis on his words, and what he says is truly terrifying. Delivered perfectly by Marlon Brando, Kurtz recounts a horrific experience he had after inoculating children with polio, which eventually sent him down the path towards insanity. He realizes that the perfect soldier is one who can kill without feeling any remorse. While we are repulsed by Kurtz's actions throughout the film, Brando's performance puts us right in his head.
And I thought, my God, the genius of that. the genius.
Number 5. Colonel Hans Landa, Inglourious Basterds. In classic Quentin Tarantino style, the opening scene of Inglourious Basterds slowly but surely moves from dialogue to terrible violence. This scene also introduces the main villain of the film, however, Colonel Hans Landa. Landa is entirely aware that La Petite is hiding Jews under his floorboards, but he toys with him first, delivering an epic monologue explaining the reasoning behind the Germans' hatred for the Jews.
If a rat were to scamper through your front door right now, would you greet it with hostility?
With a lack of music throughout most of the scene, we're made to feel the uncomfortable silence.
You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
Christoph Waltz won an Academy Award for his performance, and with a monologue like this, it's not hard to see why.
Je vous dis adieu.
Number 4. Roy Batty, Blade Runner.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Although this monologue is short, it's one of the most iconic speeches in cinematic history. Batty references events that the audience never got to see. And that's the point. With his impending death, these memories will be lost forever. Although Batty is the main villain of the film, his main purpose is to survive, something any person can relate to. And he fears that once he's died, he will be forgotten. Even more impressive is the fact that Rutger Hauer improvised the monologue on the spot, as it wasn't in the original script.
Like tears in rain.
Number 3. Calvin J. Candie, Django Unchained. In this intense Tarantino dinner scene, Calvin Candie, played to perfection by Leonardo DiCaprio, has discovered that Dr. Schultz and Django have come to take Broomhilda, Django's wife. Before revealing this information, however, he gives a lesson in phrenology, the study of skulls.
Who is your little friend?
Everyone listens with bated breath as Candie speaks calmly, but with a hint of threat behind his words. What makes this monologue even more impressive and more disturbing is that DiCaprio actually cuts his hand when he slams his fist on the table, and manages to use it to make the scene more dramatic than it already is.
If you care to join me in the parlor, we will be serving white cake.
Number 2. Dr. Hannibal Lecter, The Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal might be the one behind bars in this scene, but it's pretty clear who has all the power.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Dr. Lecter is vastly intelligent and intuitive, and both traits are on full display in this scene, as he immediately sizes up Clarice Starling's character and background.
Good nutrition's giving you some length of bone, but you're not more than one generation from poor white trash.
She manages to get a retort in, demanding he apply the same detailed analysis on himself, but she's not ready for the response. Through Anthony Hopkins' phenomenal delivery, a dangerous killer, and one of the creepiest characters of all time comes to life. We'll hear that noise in our nightmares forever. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh, the same old indigestion, Holly. These are the only things that help, these tablets. These are the last. Can't get them anywhere in Europe anymore.
We are free. We have a ship and the means to go where we will. We have escaped permanent exile on SETI Alpha 5.
Then I neutralized John. No easy task. I put roughly $2 billion into Tachyon research to block John's vision of the future.
Number 1. The Joker, The Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy has several impressive monologues, like Bane's speech about giving the power back to the people.
And we give it back to you, the people.
At the end of the day, however, how could it not be the Joker?
You remind me of my father. I hated my father.
In this scene, Rachel Dawes tries to stand up to the madman as he terrorizes guests at a fundraiser, only to get an explanation about the terrible scars on the Joker's face.
You look nervous. Is it the scars?
Heath Ledger's dynamite performance only enhances the tension that the characters on screen and the audience feel. Why so serious indeed?
Why so serious?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.